October 31st, you're watching the daily LeetCode solution where I get it all on one line. It's a little spooky episode. Oh, well, I already have this on one line, but let's see if we can get it a little shorter. Okay, we want to use a group by for sure. Yeah. Group by kind of lets you say, okay, there's a single L, there's three E's, there's a single T, and so on. Let's get a join going. Okay, it expected a string and it got a tuple. So what if we said map item getter 0 to this? It should now basically be a set. What is item getter 1? What's the first element and everything? Okay, it's a grouper object. Is there like a length function? The grouper object seems pretty useless. I see, so a grouper is an iterator. I mean, I could do like take while, length 2, and grouper, something like that. I could do zip shortest, range 2. That might be a good way to go in order to get the grouper object to only output at most 2 elements. Or I could just cast it to a list. But the problem is I would use a lambda, and I'm already here trying to like not do that. So what would happen if I said, this is actually going to be like, this is why I do these, because it's actually surprisingly interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a zip of range 2 and let's say like EE, something like that. Okay, well, list this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm at the point where there's literally only 1 or 2 elements possible. It's probably worth it to not even try and do like a zip range where this would work with 100. It's probably worth it to custom be like dot next and then dot next if it's not empty, if it hasn't reached its end. So this is one huge problem in Python is this partial function. You can't set the second variable. So for next, we want it to take the iterator and have the default be partially set. That's like a partial function, is that this input is already preset. But because this is the second input and it's not a keyword argument, we're kind of fucked. Okay, so that's one answer, but there's a lambda in here. Well, does it even work? Yeah. If I didn't need this default variable right there, this would be pretty simple, but if I get rid of that, it'll like fuck everything up. Okay, what I could do is map a list to this, map a slice to that, because I can get the first 2 elements or 1 element by mapping item getter of a slice on this. So instead of this lambda L, this is ultimately what I'm trying to do, right? Like it's just the same as this, but without a lambda. So I'm going to need to map one more thing. It's going to be mapped to a list. And then just for the sake of this, I'll try saying like map it to a string, and it's going to give some really weird result. But we can see like, okay, it's doing the right thing. So now this is just item getter. So to go through this, what I'm saying is take group by of S. So it says like there's 1 L, 3 E's, 1 T, 1 C, and so on. Get the first item from that zip, because group by will be like there's an L and then there's 1 L, there's an E and then there's 3 E's in an iterator. Take all of those, map them to a list. So you have a list of an L, a list of 3 E's, a list of a T, and then map item getter slice none comma 2. This is like saying all of this like colon 2. It's like that. It's saying like index up to the second element, but not including. So do that for everything. So you're capping it at a length of 2. And then now you have this list of lists that we don't really want. So chain from iterable will like unstack them and then join it. Nice. See you in the next one.